Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I am your host, your YouTube messiah, and often imitator, never duplicated, subsatum vicious. And we're gonna go over Raw this week. Was in Denver, Colorado. Rocky Mountain City, Smoky Mountains. Not the only thing that gets a little smoky up there. But before we do, we gotta switch gears, talk about last week via the SmackDown Rewind and the big highlights from last week's SmackDown. Well, we're just gonna address the two big promos of the night right off the bat. The show starter and the show ender. Starter was Roman and the family coming out with, my savior, Paul Heyman, coming out, Roman asking to be acknowledged, talking about on how he won, and then handing the mic to the wise man, and Paul very much so being Paul. You're all wondering what was going on. Was this planned? Was this a conspiracy? No, none of this was. You see, I was in the wrong. I was fired. I got Superman punched because I thought I needed to protect Roman from Brock. I was wrong. Brock needed to be protected by Roman. Now, when Roman came out and he looked at me with those eyes and put out the hand of forgiveness, people, emphasize on that. Hand of forgiveness. Hand of forgiveness. And he put out the hand of forgiveness. I knew right then and there, my tribal chief welcomed me back with open arms, and I went through without question or hesitation. And then after all that, then out comes Goldberg. Goldberg then says, Roman Reigns, I acknowledge you. As my next victim, come Crown Jewel, you're next. So yeah, we're going to get Roman versus Goldberg now. This was originally supposed to be the Universal title match at WrestleMania. Back when everything went to shit. Which, okay, you know, I'm going to say this. And I can't believe I'm saying this because I have never said this for a Goldberg match ever in my life. I am actually excited for this. And I'm not saying that as an insult to Goldberg, it's just honestly, he never really wowed me. It's, you know, I remember first time seeing him when I was a kid, thinking, Jesus, he's a big dude. Oh, you have to take a shotgun twice to him to make sure he's down. And then, you know, then as they started building the streak, and then it was, they put more of an emphasis on how he was so undefeated, my first thought was, well, no one stays undefeated forever. He's eventually going to have to lose. And then once they put the title on him, that's when I was like, yep, he's going to lose soon. No one stays champ forever. Yeah, and either way. Now, I'm going to say this, though. You want to shit on Goldberg, you can shit on Goldberg all you want. That is your God-given right as a human fucking being. To complain and bitch and moan about whatever you want all goddamn day. However, really like that saying. However, if the majority of the complaints that I have been seeing about Goldberg, like the 99.99999% of the complaints, are all on his age. And I'm just sitting there scratching my head thinking, these motherfuckers are complaining about Goldberg's age, but Sting's got at least a good 10 or so years on him. And they're praising the ungodly shit out of him. Jericho's roughly his same age. You know, and hell, the Rock and Roll Express are finally doing a retirement tour this year. Here's my philosophy. Age is not necessarily a big requisite, as long as you can still go. If you can go, and I mean go in a safe way, not like the, oh, I just want to have my one last chance in the limelight. No, not that. if you can in a safe way, Dominus, go, man. But yeah, the closing promo of the night, Sonya came out, confronted Charlotte about the WrestleMania choosing. Sonya said she was informed that Ronda picked Becky. Then Charlotte said, I can't say I'm too surprised because given the options of going against Becky or me, well, Becky would be the easier of the two. Having mom versus mom would be an easier match than going against the main event, the spotlight, the standard bearer for all of this. And then Ronda came out looking all mean, Karen-like, power walking. Like that. Like, seriously. The harder she tries to look angry and mean, the more I want to laugh. And I know she's not doing it intentionally. That's her naturally. And I can't help but think, the madder she gets, the more I want to laugh. But she came out and then basically did like a Pokemon thing. Charlotte Flair, I choose you. So yeah, WrestleMania, we're going to have Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey. Okay. So some of the big matches that happened during the course of the night. Ooh. Ridge Holland won against Ricochet, which eventually turned into a tag match between Ridge and Sheamus against Cesaro and Ricochet. Ridge and Sheamus won. One of the Usos went against Nakamura. Nakamura won. Sammy officially got told he's going to have his Intercontinental Championship match this Friday coming up. Also, one of the Usos went against Eric from the Raiders. Uso won. Let's see, what else? What other match? Oh, New Day went against Los Lotharios, and, I'm going to address this now. Yes, it is now official. Big E is now permanently on SmackDown, which, to some, that's like a huge, sad moment because, oh, well, there goes his singles run, it was nice while it lasted. He did this, it was nice that he at least had the title for a minute. All this, that, and the other. You want to think like that? Dude, think like that, man. But, I just can't help but think that's being real pessimistic. Appreciate the fact. We've been asking for New Day to come back since they split them up. We never wanted them split up to begin with. And now they're getting back. The whole band's Woods is out. He's going to be back in about another 4, maybe 8 weeks or so. Maybe a small little bit more. But he'll be back. And then when they got the whole freaking band back together. We got the trios back together, man. For crying out loud. How can you complain about that? You're going to have King Woods, Sir Kofi, and then whatever royal role Woods gives Big E. That's just going to be fucking awesome. Yeah. So, also Natalya went against Aaliyah. Aaliyah got the win via a countout, which then made Natalya go all crazy in the back, demanding a next match this Friday coming up against her in a pinfall or submission only win, as well as Naomi went in there to go and give Sonya hell from the shit that she did at the Rumble, and then said, whoa. Now listen, I'd be happy to have a match with you, but you have a match next week. She does. Against Charlotte Flair. She does. For the SmackDown Women's title. Well, this is news to me, but I'm all for it. Okay. So, yeah. So now, with that said, let's get into this week's show. Raw, it was on Sci-Fi Channel here in the U.S. because the Olympics are on USA, which, yeah, at least Raw didn't get canceled like it did back in the 90s because of the fucking dog shows, man. Ugh. God. Fucking hated that shit. Anyways, Raw started out with the the Quiz Bowl challenge between Alpha Academy and Riddle and Orton, which honestly, I don't remember all of the questions, but I do know it was kind of funny because me and my son were actually answering them faster than the guys were, because which president was the first to be elected with a college degree? John Adams. And then which Ninja Turtles character uses nunchucks? You know this one, bud? Duh, Mikey. And that okay, hands down, the most hilarious one was unit conversions and how many grams are in an ounce. And as Riddle was about to say, he was like, Randy was like, whoa, let me handle this one. How do you know? And Randy just with the straightest face leans back. You think you're the only one that likes to bake? Just like, okay. If you get that reference, awesome. But man, I did not expect Randy to take that. Now, we all know about Randy's past with his shit. But I'm just saying, everything was all set up for Riddle. And then Randy's just like, whoa, hold on. Let me. I just thought that was hilarious. So, they won. They get an official title shot down the line. This, that, and the other. Blah, 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 blah. Chances are we'll probably have that title match either at WrestleMania or on a Raw, which will then lead to a match at Mania. But then then the Street Profits came out, started mocking Alpha Academy, which then led to a tag match. So our first match of the night is Street Profits versus Alpha Academy. Alpha wound up attacking them before the bell, but as the match officially started, the Profits, they wound up leading with Ford being a Ford punching bag. It was an okay match. Now, I'll say this. There were some decent matches during the course of this show, but the crowd just was like, silent. And it was just like silent, and it just kind of, you could hear that the piped in noises and just like, man, I don't get it. This is actually something I would really like to see live. This is the kind of match I'd like to see live. Why are you guys being so silent right now? But either way, it was a decent enough match. I dug it. Dawkins got the hot tag in, and match came to an end when Gable actually had an ankle lock in on Dawkins and then rolled him around and then turned it into a pin on him. Which, dude, yeah, like I said before, Chad Gable is like and I don't typically like to do a lot of comparisons, but Chad Gable really is showing more and more Kurt Angle-like-esque work with each and every week I'm seeing him on. With the shush. Let me speak. Don't boo education, and of course the ring work. So next match we got a Proving Grounds match. AJ Styles against Damian Priest. Of course, those uneducated on the matter, a Proving Grounds match. Non-title against a champion, but if you win, you get a title shot down the road. So, as far as this match, man, this was really good. You got two ROH veterans right here. You got two Ring of Honor veterans right here going at it right here. Dude, this is good. Really solid match, really great back and forth. I fucking loved it. It was good. I honestly, again, it was a good match. I couldn't complain. I mean, I'm sure I could if I wanted to, but I'm not going to sit there and dissect every last little nook and cranny to find something to complain about. I mean, when I see something I don't like, I'll fucking bitch about it, no different than anyone else. But I'm not going to fucking dissect it. But I fucking love this, but the one thing I will complain about is the fact that the fucking crowd was so dead. I mean, for crying out loud, they were so silent, I could have sworn they were my production crew. Yeah, fuck you, Wade. And, match came to an end when AJ got the win. How it came to an end, it was really good, really fast. Priest, he was running off the ropes, ran right into a phenomenal forearm. So they officially announced next week AJ is going against Priest for the US title. Next up, we got Miz going against Dominik Mysterio. And before him, we had a Miz TV segment where Miz was interviewing Ray. And then they were talking about Miz being underhanded. And Miz was like, whoa, wait. Underhanded? Oh, I'm underhanded. You know, you see other guys, see people like you, like such and such, and this guy and that guy, and even Eddie Guerrero use these kind of tactics. They're all praised. They're worshipped. They all get treated like gods. But me, I'm underhanded for it? And he got all sorts of ignorant on Ray, and then Dominic accepting like, whoa, you don't talk to my dad like that. And then Miz just looked like, alright, let's go. But before we do, you know, it just occurred to me. You're a lot taller than Ray. Are you sure you're not? You sure Eddie's not really your dad? Which, fucking A, I love that. All the real OGs know Eddie is Dominik's poppy. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. One of these days, Dominik is going to stab Ray in the back, denounce the Mysterio heritage, and admit he was a Guerrero. Now, as far as this match, it didn't really get off the ground. You know, it was... They spent more time doing the picture-in-picture for it because it's sci-fi, but because Raw never does that, but they spent a lot of time doing in the picture-in-picture with them trying to tussle and teasing each other. And then when they got back from it, it was Dom went off the ropes, Maryse tripped him, ref saw it, started arguing with Maryse, which, good Lord almighty. Yeah, I needed some heart pills with that, for that, but ref started arguing with Maryse. Then Ray tripped Miz, and then Miz started arguing with the ref. Whoa, you didn't see that? You're not seeing that shit? What the fuck, man? And then he started yelling at Miz, and then Miz started yelling at Ray, I should say, I'm sorry. And then Dominik got the win via a roll-up. Fucking shit, I fucking hate roll. God fucking fucking hate roll-ups, man. Death to roll-ups. They're fucking they're fucking match killers. Just like you take everything that you built up and end it in such a shitty way. Just fuck. Ugh. Like I said, death to roll-ups. That's all I'm going to leave that at for now. Moving on, next matchup, we got Bianca Belair going against Nikki A.S.H. And Nikki, she was leading for a good majority of this match. Good majority of this match. Was working on Bianca's one knee. Saw her, she was hobbling around. Trying to do the old fighters thing, pounding, hitting it, trying to get some feeling back in it. But eventually, how the match came to an end, Nikki wound up doing a running charge. Bianca moved out the way, hit the ring post, and then she hoisted her up. And Bianca hit the KOD 1, 2, 3. That was it. And okay, now I said earlier I wouldn't, if I saw something I didn't like, I'd complain about it, and I'm gonna hear. What bothered me was after the match, Bianca Belair was doing her normal victory taunt with dancing around, twirling her hair. The thing is, during the match, she was selling the knee like she was having a hard time putting weight down on it. and then miraculously after the bell rings, you're able to move around and dance again, like everything's hunky fucking dory. Just, nah. Yeah, next up we got Kevin Owens going against Austin Theory. Owens was just pretty much straight up ballistic on Aries. Pretty much leading the entire time. And, dude, listen, Owens is one of my faves, man. Win, lose, or draw, I fucking like the guy. The guy knows what he's doing when in the ring. But this was a damn good match. I dug it, and Owens got the win via a stunner. 1, 2, 3. And yeah. Next up, we got Liv Morgan against Doudrop. And Doudrop was pretty much dominating from the start. Midway through the match, Liv started to build up a small bit of a comeback. But it was short-lived. Doudrop got the remote. Picked up some momentum again. And then ended it doing a Vader bomb on Liv. 1, 2, 3. And then I proceeded to laugh hysterically at all the angry Liv Morgan fangirls on the Twitter, all doing blah 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 blah. This is bullshit. I can't believe it. She loves blah blah blah. Yes, she did. And now I'm going to laugh at you being so mad and frustrated over it. Okay. Yes, I am that kind of an evil bastard. So don't even think twice on asking, Jesus, are you really that bad? So next matchup, we got Seth Elizabeth Rollins, because I don't think his middle name's frickin', I swear his middle name is really Elizabeth. Seth Elizabeth Rollins going against Riddle, which, well, it's rather interesting when you think about it, because let's rewind the clock back about a good year, maybe year and a half ago. All the rumors were circulating around on how Seth didn't want to do business with Riddle because of all the allegations that were going on, and Seth refused to ever work with him, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. And now look where we are. Goes to show, rumors, gossip, and all that are just that, and take rumors with a grain of salt. So as far as Seth and Riddle went, Seth was pretty much leading the pace on the match. It was a good enough match. It was decent. I dug it. Riddle started picking up some momentum, and as he was, then Owens came out, attacked, caused a DQ finish, and then Randy came out, popped a RKO onto Owens, I should say, damn it. And then it ended in a tag match between Randy and Riddle against Seth and Owens. And Randy was pretty much making the lead for his team at the start, you know. Took out Owens, belly to back suplex to Seth on the announce table. It was just, yeah. Riddle wound up being the punching bag for a bit and was actually, damn, okay. Listen, I know he was being on the ass end of an ass kicking earlier, but damn! And I mean, I'm not talking like they decided to go into business for themselves kind of damn. It was just like, ooh, man, that's nice to watch in the ring. But eventually, Randy got the hot tag, started throwing out a couple clotheslines, a couple of power slams, started doing pretty damn good. Riddle wound up catching his breath, got back in, started working with Randy for a minute, and then Seth got in there, hit Riddle with a couple rolling elbows, and then curb stomp, 1, 2, 3, and your winners were Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens, but not without Randy Orton hitting one last RKO onto Kevin Owens. And Seth just walking up the ramp. Yeah. So, yeah. That is it So that's it for this week's show, folks. So please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes when you can. Look for me on the Twitter at TimVicious. Also, folks, thank you to my executive producer, Ollie Ray Ben, who did provide the music for this week's show. Make sure y'all check it out. It's on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, all that good shit. Details are down below. Also, thank you to contributor of the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. There are a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Also, folks, do not forget to follow these cool-ass cats right out on the Twitter. Kenny Killer, DSB_IV, Diabolica RA, Sergeant Curry Pants, and Dubs in your face. And folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck you.